Yes, people, welcome back to NAF. We're going to be doing a little bit of a debate subject tonight, and we're going to talk a little bit of transfer news. Gal brought up some certain subjects, and there's been the things that are looming around Twitter, aka this little fucker below me, doing all the Chelsea prop and all the Chelsea hate all at the same time in one, but no one can gather if he's positive or negative. But yeah, man, we're joined by Josh, and then we're going to be joined by Mons as well. What you man saying, man? Josh, I'm glad to know that you're not hiding. It's nice to know that when you win a game or draw a game, you can finally show up as well. Did you draw last game, by the way?
Yeah, I was at the game. We threw it away against Brighton. It was actually another disaster class of defending.
2-2, isn't it? 2-2, something like that.
But 2-2. But weirdly, we're still in the hunt for that top four spot. So I don't know how. But I got excited today because apparently we're linked to Donny Mallon.
Yeah,
from Dort. Don't know. I'm not going to lie. I don't know too much about him apart from he's a bit of a powerhouse, bit of speed, plays on the wing, bit of versatile. But
got no shot about.
I don't know if he's one. I don't know if he's one to get excited about or
came through the Arsenal Academy.
Very similar to a DRB thing, where he's kind of, can play out wide through the middle. He's got a sweaty card on FIFA, man. I'll be honest. That's a sweaty card, man. His team of the season tore me one last year, man. That's pretty.
I think he's underrated personally. I think it was the season it was either the season we signed Havertz or the season before that. Like there was rumors about him coming back to Arsenal, and I actually wanted it to happen. I actually like him as a player. If you sign him, then I think going forward, Watkins, Marlon, and Duran will be a very, very good strike force option. Mm-hmm. But then I would say if you're signing Marlon though, that could be Duran walking out.
The worry.
So yeah.
But you think Duran's gonna go this month?
I don't see why else he would be signing Marlon.
Yeah, that's the worry. Is that we're if there's one position I'd say Villa need is a right back, like 100%, because I'm sick of seeing Ezri Konsa have to go and fill in a spot that he doesn't like playing. But we seem to be. We were linked with Paul Lair Quick linked us with Kolo Muani yesterday. Today's come out with Mallon. It's like we seem to really be going for a striker, which worries me because we're either planning for the summer to lose one of them. But if it happens this window, Jesus, I don't know. But Mallon, hopefully, if he plays out wide, is something we could do with, and you can have, him playing on that right wing if possible, because Bailey's been absolutely gashed. So, but yeah, that in terms of Villa, it seems like we're gonna go and actually do a bit of business, which is exciting for a January window. But yeah.
And you just said that you lot are linked to Take Kubo, Arsenal, innit?
Man, let's go, man. 2025 will be the year that pure footballers enter my club, and I am here for it. That's all I want.
He scored 4 goals in 1,500 minutes all season.
I don't care about goals, bro.
And 2 assists.
I want ballers. I want man that when the ball are at their feet, they're not all falling over and I can't go forward no more. Got to pass it back. Like I need someone that the link up is there, the 1-2 quick movement, the high IQ. I just need ballers at my club in it. I don't care about. We're not gonna do this. Oh, look at his GA. But then whenever I'm talking to man about football, they tell me it's not about the GA. It's about how they play. This brother is a baller.
You can play. He's proper technical, got dribbling on lock. Like he's nifty, proper nifty player. I like
like 6 months last season.
He's tech
at the start. 23, 24 for half a year. He was the flavor of the month, and then he went absolutely down the pan.
Hey, you can think that because he's not going to your club. That's cool.
Hey, bro, I don't want him at my club.
That's great. There's a lot of players that are at your club that you don't want at your club.
Exactly. He's definitely not one of them, man.
I'm fine. I'm happy. Don't worry. Hopefully, we bring him in before the FA Cup and he debuts against your club and smokes you. That's what I'm here for. You get it? Board up. Let's bring him in, man. And he won't cost a lot. So we could go get a Kubo and somebody else, and then
Marcus Rashford
all the way to the bank.
Marcus Rashford.
Hey, I hope not. But if it is the case, then you get it. 25 M's for Rashford. I'm laughing at every Manchester United fan.
I'm not.
You man used to
I think
tell
you're all
me.
getting scammed.
You man
Aye.
telling me to be £100 million player. I will laugh at all you man. What 25 M's? Oh, that's chop change.
I don't
That's
mind.
That's
I don't
chop change.
mind. I don't mind. Give me my wing back. It's worth it.
Only earlier we were saying how it's a shameful thing if Liverpool sell Trent for 20 M's because 20 M's is chump change. We're dropping an extra 5
Yeah,
M's.
but Trent's actually good at football. You know what I mean? Trent's actually good at football and wins
Yeah,
majors.
Rashford is only bad at football when you man want him out of your club, but when he's scoring
What do you
goals,
what do you mean? No, he isn't. I don't know what you're on about. We've been onto Rashford. We've been onto Rashford and Bruno for a while.
Hey,
He had that one. He had that one. He went at home. What? Had that one
trying
season.
to offload your players to me. We're getting Kubo.
What do you mean? But you're Captain Saverholes. You like to do this with Jorginho, Havertz, and the rest of the crew. Why not mine?
Hey, VD. Just take this one. Take this one. We saved too many people. Just take this one. Rashford. He'll do a job for you, man.
Oh, they're saving Sancho, and even right now,
No. I've like never liked Rashford at all. I never liked him, even from day dot. Just was not there for me. Was not there. Listen, it's the same thing as Pogba. Yeah, you know what he's saying on his day. I hate players like that. Hate them. And nah, Rashford it ain't for me, man. God forbid he comes in and it's just a virus to Sancho, who's just got his head down and doing his thing. God forbid he comes into our team, man. No way. No way.
Wait. Remember what we was talking about off stream? About
what?
the Arsenal close to agreeing personal terms with a player, but it's going to be very difficult with the club. Hear me out, yeah. Dio, I know you're going to like this one, yeah. Hear me out. Mohamed Kudus. Oh, I've seen it.
You ain't getting him.
Kudus,
Wait, this summer, or are you talking about January?
January, bro. We're in this, bro. It's like I said, the start of the window. Yeah, if people were paying attention to Arsenal, when people were paying attention to Arsenal, it actually came out and said Arsenal have no concerns when it comes to money being spent. We can spend money. They even went as far to say PSR not an issue. So we got Chang, got money in the bank. Yeah, we're gonna be blowing out that peas blood. Yeah,
but I hear it. But they've just got Bowen's injured. Bowen's injured. I don't think they're gonna allow him to let him go.
Yeah, but if he has a
everybody's got a price, man.
If there's a release clause and it's
in the summer.
No. Some of them might be active in January. I don't know. I'm not saying it is.
I do know.
But fine. You can say in summer. But my thing is this: look, for me, where Arsenal should be, what we should be doing this January is going out and spending. I don't care. Like this is my stance. Is I don't even want Kubo. I don't want Kudus. I want the top of go out there, literally. And the reason I'm saying that is this: if you go out there and you get me a number 9, you get me a left winger, and you get me a right winger, right, to cover for Saka for the rest of the season, and you get top players, and Liverpool goes on and does a madness, goes unbeaten and wins the league, I will not be mad because you brought in better players and Liverpool did a madness. But if you bring in these better players and Liverpool has some sort of bleep, I can trust these players who are levels above what we have now, levels above Martinelli and Havertz, to do a job and catch up. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I want us to be at. I'm not about this whole, let's just bring a level raiser. No, you need to bring ceiling breakers right now. It needs to be people who literally can hit the ground running. So yeah, somebody I would, as much as I didn't want him in the summer and I prefer to have gone for Gyökeres, I would take Victor Osimhen right now from Galatasaray. It's January. Victor wants to play. Yeah, he wants to play. I'll get him as a 9. You can say Kudus. Yeah, Mbeumo is there. Like, these are people that just get me people that will do the business, really and truly.
If you could lure like Osimhen and then maybe Acuna, I'll be like, yeah, these lot mean business. These lot want to win the league.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm asking for, because
I don't think Kudus is realistic this summer. I just don't think West Ham just reject it and wait for the summer.
I mean, of course, it's not realistic, but we're just talking in hypotheticals as regards to what type of level of players you would need to be able to go on to, to push Liverpool and probably catch up with them. That's the type. But I know there's a narrative about where we're at right now with Arsenal, but it's funny because last season at this same game week where we had 40 points, this season we have 39 points. We're not far off the points that we were last season. And I'm not saying it's a good place to be. I'm just saying like it's not far off. And Liverpool last season was what 42 points. Now they're at 45 points. So they're 3 points better. They're 1 game better off than they were last season, Liverpool. And if you remember, same last season, by game week 20, Liverpool was 5 points ahead of us. Even though we didn't win the league, by the end of the season, 38 weeks, we were 7 points ahead of them. That's a 12-point swing. So I'm not saying we're going to catch up to them, but it's possible. It's just going to be very difficult. We need to get the right amount of the right kind of players and the right profile of players in January. That's it. It's possible because even against you, Manchester United, I think the first time we won the Premiership, the Premier League, 97-98. By this time, we were 10 points behind United, and we were in 5th position. But by the end of the season, we won. So there was a 10-point swing at that time. So I'm not saying I've seen it done before. It probably will not happen with the form that we see Liverpool in, but we need to get ballers in this January. We can't lose Bukayo Saka, have players sick, and then depend. Gabriel Jesus for me is going to have a proper patch. He's going to play a few more games where he's going to shine, and he's going to fall off like he normally does every year. So I can't depend on that. I need us to bring in people that we can depend on, and so that's the way I kind of see it, man.
Well,
I was just going to say, how often do you get top class players in January when you're in a title race? And the other reason is, I'd probably say, signing for Arsenal. I think players know that when you go and sign for Arsenal, it's really hard to break into that starting lineup straight away. So when you're trying to get that balance of a top class player plus someone who knows they're going to come in and start, Arteta's shown it's quite hard to break into that side and his side. I just don't understand how you feel that Arsenal can go and clutch a player of that level, apart from the fact that Saka is injured. That is the only position.
But that's the major reason why we have to go and do that now. And again, let me dispel this myth. 2 seasons ago, Arsenal we wanted to put 80 million for Caicedo in January, but it just didn't work. So we were willing to spend 80 million in January for Caicedo.
But you didn't get it done. I know. Didn't get it done.
I agree. See, I'm saying I'm dispelling the myth that people say Arsenal don't like to spend in January. So that means we were if the deal
not spend because you do spend, but top quality. Now, what you're talking about,
like that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, of course, top quality costs money, though, right? So if a club is willing to spend that much in January and they're willing to do the same thing as January, you can go get somebody who's top quality for that price. Is what I'm saying. So the myth that Arsenal don't spend at all in January is dispelled because we've showed that in January sometimes we've tried to spend. Last January, I think when we brought in what's his name, Trossard, Jorginho, and whoever else we brought in, all 3 of them cost us about 40, almost 50 million, right? Roughly 27, 13, all of that. Anyway,
but can I just ask that question then? Because I'm not saying about you don't spend. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't get the quality in. You've just told me 3 players there, Trossard and Jorginho. As far as I'm aware, they sit on the bench for Arsenal now.
I know. You're missing my point. Yep. My point again is that now that we have Bukayo Saka injured, we now have to go for quality is what I'm saying. I'm saying we've showed that we can spend in January when we need to, like the time we went for Caicedo and all that, even though it didn't work out, right? So now take that same drive, bring that money out and go for top quality this January is what I'm saying.
I actually agree with you. Yeah, because you're that. So basically, what Josh is saying, which I agree with, is in January, Arsenal don't usually go out and blow the bank because we don't. That's just a fact.
We don't.
And then the other thing is, which I think you're saying, Josh, is from a player's perspective, why when you come into Arsenal, you don't immediately break into the first team, and that's something that could put off a lot, especially players in the Prem who are already playing first team football at the club that they're at. But the only caveat, and you did mention it, is a right winger knows that if they come into Arsenal, they're starting. Because by the way, Saka's out and they're better than Sterling. That's just how it is. So whoever it is, whoever we decide to go for, if we just use Kudus as an example, Kudus knows if he comes into Arsenal, he's going straight into the first team. He knows that. So I don't think that players will be. That's
what I was saying, Josh. That's what I meant by because of the injury. I said because of Bukayo Saka's injury now, that position in itself, go for quality there. It doesn't look. I would rather have a player that can play left and right, come in and fill in for Bukayo Saka right now. So when Saka comes back, I can move them to the left and put Martinelli on the bench. Like that's where my goal. Yeah, like do you understand what I'm saying? So, but I'm saying go for quality in the sense that you already have a position open anyways. This is not the January where you're going to be like, oh, let me just go and get somebody who's just okay. No, get a player who is phenomenal, right? Spend the money. Let him. Saka is not going to be back till April, from what we're hearing. So let him come in. Let him take on the role. Let him own that position. By the time Saka comes back, the season is almost done, anyways. But we're talking May, right? So now we can then say, all right, we can move you to the left because you're versatile enough to go to the left. Put Martinelli on the bench if he's not doing the business. By the time Saka comes back, he will also need time to readapt and get back to fitness. So that's why I said. That's why I said.
No, I hear that. I get that. I think if I was playing devil's advocate, okay, a player who can play, a player who shifts back over when Saka comes back and is then asked to go and facilitate on a different position to strengthen the team isn't a phenomenal player. And that is the levels and caliber I'm on about. Basically, if you're to sign a player, that player should not be disposed of that position. That player should say, this is my specialist position.
Football has changed.
And I personally believe, this is just my take on football at the moment, I personally believe a winger has to specialise on on one side. I actually don't think we're in an era now where a winger is good enough to play right wing and left wing. You can play him right or left wing. I think a winger has to be locked down in one position. I think it's a completely different game. If you're a left-footed player, okay, and I'm going to take Saka's in my head. If you're a left-footed player and your specialist position is on a right wing, tell me, go show me that player on the left wing. Completely different game, completely different skill set, completely different reading of the picture. So all
I can't lie. I think Neto actually. That's the one wing. I was thinking about him. Neto, no matter what side he's on,
he's
plays
fire
it with no drop off at all.
And I'll give another example of a player who's like that. Bukayo Saka played for England and played 3 positions in one game and held all 3 positions.
Yeah, but that's the manager. That's on the manager who didn't have a specialist left back or a left winger.
Josh, I hear you, but I'm saying he held the positions. He didn't look any weaker in those positions. So you can have phenomenal players like that. Is what I'm talking about. Like there are players out there like Neto. We gave an example just now who can play on the left and on the right and are amazing. So you can't say that there's no such players. I understand your position, which is if you play on the right, you should own it. If you play on the left, you should own it. I get that. But then the situation that we're in is we have one of the best right wingers and he's out. He's going to come back. So what's the best way to fix that? Is it to bring a better right winger? And then when he comes back, what happens? Put him on the bench? That's stupid.
Fight for your position.
I'd rather say a hybrid player.
Exactly that. To be a Premier League winner, you have to do that. Jack Grealish had to.
So why do you want Kudus then? Let me ask. Why do you want Kudus then?
Then why Kudus? Kudus is not better than Saka. So if I bring in Kudus, then what am I doing? I might as well go get Lamine Yamal, which is never going to happen.
Well, I think you can facilitate on the left, but not as well. But I think Kudus. I think he'd be serious in that left centre mid role or back up even for Ødegaard. You can use him in bare positions. Not on the left wing though. Not for me personally.
Yeah, not on the left wing.
But I think the talk of this is why Spurs struggled for so long, yeah. Because when it comes to the striker, it's like, who's gonna come in and be a striker for Harry Kane? So what? Go and acquire it. Go get a fucking squad. Why is it a God's given right that Saka starts?
Yep.
It shouldn't be like that.
I'm just gonna say it. I think Kudus is a better player than Saka. Like, as
a footballer, way better.
As a footballer, I think he's a better player. Like, obviously, Saka has the time in the game, the consistency, and putting out a certain level of like output and impact on Arsenal over a prolonged period. But if we're talking just at playing football, like pure football, Kudus is the better player. Which is why I think
without the output though,
Kudus would be.
He's got goals in him. He's got goals in him, man.
Arsenal, by the way, that output thing that we're talking about, don't worry about it. It's happening. Kudus,
you have to worry about output.
He would back himself, to come into Arsenal, cover that right hand position until Saka's back, and know that he can still challenge him, but then probably play in more favourable positions to him across the pitch because he can play more. He could even run a false 9. Like Arteta could actually make him into whatever he wants to be. Not in I'm not trying to gaslight Arteta or anything, but we know that Arteta likes to tinker with players and transform them in different ways. So why would Kudus care that Saka's coming back? If anything, Kudus would want to play in the same team as Saka. So I don't see the whole like you get it allow. Like I believe a football team should always be trying to look to improve their team in whatever position it is.
That's my point. My point is get somebody who, like right now, if we're going to say get a right winger, then get a right winger that is better than Saka. That's all I ask for. Like don't go get me somebody.
That's hard to do because we can't go and sign Salah.
I know that's my point though. Like, so I'm saying because I don't have that level, like, so hear me out, Hooks, because I'm not able to do that, which is fair enough. I will try to get a player who is just as good but can play both sides. And the reason is because when my player on the right comes back from injury, even though he still has competition from this player, I'm still secure on the left side where I'm weak with Martinelli. You see what I'm saying? Like I still have the option to be able to use that player on the left to actually bolster my side because now the player on the right is back. Even though he still
man, go get Rashford, man. Come on, man.
That's the way I can. That's what I was thinking. Like, you know, would be my solution.
Yeah. What Rashford? I think so. I think he's the solution.
This Rashford thing is.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
Rodriguez
if
is a shout, you know.
If you lot was what happened?
King me, love. Sorry, love.
You know
Sorry, there. It's just the top of the league thing, innit? Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
it's all right. I'm right behind you, top of the league.
So do you believe that Rashford is actually the solution? Because I'm only playing about.
No, I think Rashford is going to need a whole full season to get back in whatever team he goes to. I think you guys have broken him. You've literally broken that guy.
Broken himself too.
Your system, everything up. You guys have just
more the reason to come get him, man.
So wherever he goes to, he's going to need.
Mikel will fix it.
Let's be honest. He's done for.
The whole Kudus thing, like we're just talking transfer talk, etc., and all that, yeah. And all the links that they got. You talk about Take Kubo and all that kind of stuff. Take Kubo 2025, getting gassed about that, whatever. Like for me,
I just want pure footballers in my. I want players that can play football in my club. That's what I want. That's what I'm looking at. Like all this GAA stuff. I hear it.
Yeah, I know, but we
have someone that can do that. We have.
But you talk about your front line being and talk about goals as well. You can have pure footballers and have goals as well. You know,
brother. I just want to let you know, Chelsea have a lot of pure footballers in their attack, and you know
they do. They
do. And as I said, like I look at Neto, I look at João Felix, I look at Sancho. All three of them ballers. If you look at that and go, when Cole Palmer's getting marked out the game, and Jackson's having headaches because he's not finishing his chances, look at them now. My point is that I think you have to have a balance of both.
Yeah, which we will, because obviously, well, I don't know, maybe we will, but I don't. Unless it's someone like a Vlahovic, I don't see us getting a Gyökeres.
What is it with
January?
Vlahovic, man? I can't understand it.
In January.
You really don't like Vlahovic, innit?
He's so bad. He's so bad.
He's not as bad as you say he is, man.
He's so bad. He's so bad. It's the same thing with Osimhen. Why do people have Osimhen on top standards? Why is he on top of like an upper echelon? Why? Like, dude, it's like people don't know what this guy is.
No, but I'm not calling him a box
striker. He's a box striker. That's why.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's nice having footballers everywhere. But at the end of the day, you need a box striker as well that can
put
play
the ball in the back of the net.
As long as they can play,
but you need to give Osimhen 20 chances for him to score 5.
No, you talk about Osimhen.
That's not true. Osimhen, as bad as you want to paint him out to be, I'm Nigerian. He plays for my country. He's not as bad as you guys say he is. Osimhen is very
misses so many big chances. It's crazy.
How many big chances did he miss last season? Give me the stats on how many. And how many?
I can bring them up. He missed more. I'm pretty sure he missed more than Jackson.
Yeah, see, that's the seems to have had a bad thing. If he misses many more big chances than he scores, and he scores 25 goals a season for you already, like if you bring in a player that can score you 25 a season, like what else do you expect from the player? You think everybody can do 30, 40? He's
done that once, by the way, without penalties. He's only scored over 50
without penalties. You crown your star by penalties. Don't do that.
No, I listen. When we kept having the Salah and not Salah,
how dare you?
Salah's kind of a bit different. When we kept having the Saka and Palmer thing, I kept saying even without penalties, I take Thing over because he had more goals than Saka. Like I don't like penalties in it. I don't really count penalty goals like that. Like I'm not gonna look at Cole
What do you
Palmer and
mean
be like, oh
count
my,
it?
if he scored 30 penalties in a season, yeah, I'm not gonna say, listen, this guy is like a clinical player or whatever, because he's scoring a penalty, bro. It's a free chance.
How can you have that opinion of Cole Palmer when he scored 10 penalties?
Yeah.
Who's the
He
last person
still
to even
scored
do
a
that?
lot.
Steven
He
Gerrard in
still
13,
scored a
14.
lot.
No,
He still scored a lot and still created a lot.
Bro,
He
he
was
scored
clinical.
he scored 22 goals. He scored 12 goals. Open play goals. He's talking about
In his
That's not a
first
lot.
season, for Chelsea,
yeah,
yeah.
but that's 10
When
penalties. 10
he was
penalties.
dragging us out the mud,
like, how can you say you
that's a lot
don't,
of goals.
bro? Penalties count, bro. Penalties defo count. I'm just saying,
Penalties
by
are hard
your
to score,
logic,
you know.
Cole Palmer, by that logic,
Penalties are hard
Cole
to
Palmer
score.
only scored 12 goals last season.
I'm
By that
fine.
logic, I don't agree with that logic, but by that logic,
I still think that's
bro.
great
At
output.
the end of the day, like the ball
For a
in the
right
back
winger.
of the net is the bottom line of this entire
It's
thing.
pressure
And
as well,
thing is,
pressure penalties,
my
man.
thing is like if you bring in a striker like that can put the ball in the back of the net, even if he can do it once, twice in a game out of missing 5 chances, as long as he puts it in the back of the net. I'm not expecting my team to go out there in every game and score 7. Like every chance the striker gets, you must score it. You must put 7 in the back. Like if that is the case, that's burnout. Like the fact
No. I got to disagree on that, because how come then people like Darwin Núñez and Ollie Watkins get absolutely chastised for they're literally labelled for players who need 5 chances to score, yet
I
they
don't
still
agree
do
with it.
score.
I don't
Hold on.
agree
But they
with
still,
more than
but
5
they,
to be
I don't agree with. I don't agree
well,
with
sorry,
the
yeah, but they still score. They still score. The only reason Osimhen, right, gets hyped up as much as he does is because no one watches him, and that's as simple as that. He plays in a league where people don't watch, and no one has been watching for the last 2 or 3 years. Okay, but we all pretend we know Victor Osimhen because he was a name that was branded out. But because we put a scope on our players who play in this league, we can identify the players who need more chances. It's not. It just is.
But
It's
that's what I'm
illogical.
saying, Josh. That's what I'm saying, Josh. Josh, I'm not one of those people who blames Ollie Watkins. I'm not one of those people who says Watkins needs multiple chances and you know he's terrible or what's this guy's name at Liverpool. I don't do that to them because I'm like, listen, I've seen Ollie Watkins miss 2-3 clear chances in a game and come back and score 2 in that same game. I'm like, that's all I require from my striker. That's all I require from you. If you miss and you make a mistake in the first chance, the next chance you get, I convert it. I'm not expecting you to convert all the 5 chances that you're giving. And so for me, Osimhen is a striker who his conversion rate could be 1 out of 3. You can say that in the game. That's good enough because we have other people that can convert as well. We have set pieces. So score 2 goals, lock up the shop, and let's get 3 points and move on. Like that's where I'm at.
Jesus can do basically. Gabriel Jesus can do what Osimhen does.
Gabriel Jesus is going to have a purple patch and then fall off. That's
I know he is, but that's what Osimhen would do for you. That's what Osimhen
But
would do.
the difference is Osimhen, but it's all about profile these days. Bro, it's just a different profile.
More shirts.
No, it's not even that. Like his hold-up play isn't bad. His link-up play isn't bad, but the difference is I know I can whip that ball into the area this time, and I know he's not going to be a bitch and he's going to go for that. Do you know what I mean? There's a bit of a difference.
Isn't Jesus doing that right now? As a poacher. Isn't Jesus doing that right now as a poacher?
Yeah, Jesus can do that and all that. But guess what he's not going to do? He's not going to be physical presence in the box. When you need someone to actually wrestle sometimes with some of these centre-backs correctly and give them a bit of an option in the box.
Does that what Osimhen do? Or are you on about Lukaku or Osimhen? Like, I'm confused here.
Lukaku's a good, decent player, but
Lukaku's a good player.
The difference is with
Lukaku
is like
Osimhen is
actually bounces off his foot.
To be fair, yeah, I can't even like. Obviously, I'm sitting here slewing Osimhen, yeah, because I'm saying I don't think Osimhen is what he's made out to be.
Look at his value.
But in terms of like Arsenal squad, low key he's a perfect fit. Like low key, he's actually a perfect fit. He can't play the ball right, but I mean, he's one of the best in the air, or like in general for a striker. I don't think his leap is nuts. And the thing with Osimhen is you need to give him so many chances. And Arsenal can kind of do that, especially with Ødegaard in the team. You know, obviously Saka's gone now, but if they go get a right winger, whip the ball into the box.
I can't understand. You know what I don't understand is like we're quick to hype up potential like Delap, John Duran, and all these other fuckers and scrubs, yeah, like fucking Xerxes or whatever, yeah, and Højlund, even worse, right? Could all do that, but yet we're here to say no. 50 million for an Osimhen. What are we doing? What day and age are we living in when we just keep hyping up potential?
Osimhen has a 1.07 goals per 90. That means he's like that's not a bad striker to have in your squad. I just don't understand like how people would say
under a goal per 90.
No, he has 1.07 goals per 90.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me know where you're getting that for value for 50 million elsewhere.
For who? For who? But who's he played for? Napoli.
Yeah,
know,
but he won
No,
Napoli.
that's probably
He
for
won Napoli is
Galatasaray.
Scudetto, yeah, with Cavaschillia and all them man there. The next season,
We're
let's
going to
be
change
re-
it again. We're
let's
going to
be
say
real.
now he plays for
Let's be real. He
Fenerbahce.
went to
He plays for
AFCon.
this.
He went to AFCon, and also on top of that, he was going through a madness with the crowd as well, which is like you don't expect someone to feel loved when they're doing all of that. Like let's be honest, you're gonna feel a type of way about it. And he still got as much goals as he could. And then this season, he's like, cool, I'm gonna go to Galatasaray then, and he's banging the goals there anyways.
Yeah,
So he's not like it's not that we don't expect him to, but he's badding it up. Do you know what I mean? And then they're saying there's a break clause.
He's in the
And it's 50
99
million.
Look at this, he's in the 99 percentile for all expected goals, like from goals scored to goals involvement, like expected goals, non-penalty goals. He's in the 99 percentile, literally right now.
He sacked, by the way, he sacked his agent. He sacked his agent.
So I'm not saying I'm saying if we need to get a different profile for us up front, right? It doesn't have to be a Gabriel Jesus type person. Kai Havertz is not doing it right now. We need a different type of profile. And I know when rivals start to say things like Osimhen is not good enough for you guys, but it's because now they really realize that he probably will do the business with the amount of chances we created. Before Bukayo Saka's injury, he's created the most big chances in the league this season. Most big chances created. So if you had a striker who could convert it,
value for whatever, 150 million for Isaac out of Newcastle, or 50 million out of Galatasaray, well, technically Napoli for Osimhen, what really is better value? Are you still going to say Tommy Isak because he can dribble?
I mean, yeah,
Well, we said the same thing about Solanke last year, by the way. Same thing. Yeah, done really well for a Bournemouth side, but guess what? When it comes to low blocks, we don't know what these men are about. Osimhen, if you watch Napoli, like when you say we ain't watched Napoli, go watch Osimhen when they played Napoli when they were all starting to do low blocks against him. Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't do nothing, by the way. There's a bit more space to run into, don't get me wrong. But the thing is, you can't always defend him because he's good in the air. He's a great footballer. Don't get me wrong. He is a great footballer. But for that price, we always talk about price tags and how much it weighs on players when they do go for a certain man. How many players work out when they go for a ridiculous fee?
Can I say though?
I mean,
he ain't worked out because he ain't won nothing.
I totally understand that the league he's playing in might not be a league that we all rate, but when you scored, when you've scored 9 goals and 3 assists in 11 games,
it's the most corrupt league in the world.
I get it. Like I said, we might not rate it, but I'm talking about the profile of the player and what he does on the pitch and how he fits into us bringing him to Arsenal, right? So if it's a different thing, if whatever league it is, if this player is just somebody who is so corrupt that they're paying other teams to not tackle him so that he can score, then I would be like, I don't want that player. But we know that that's not what it is. He's playing football on the pitch and we can see it with our eyes, and his stats don't lie. So, and for January transfer window, if he's available, because Isak is not going to be available, who would be my number one choice in January? I'm being realistic. Players that are available that can do the business for us.
I think Arsenal fans, I think you just want to see your ball show some ambition. Same thing with Liverpool fans. Once can preach that, innit? Show some ambition.
Yeah, that's it. What I'll look at.
If you don't go out there and spend, you're pretty much handing
it's just
everything
very
to
rare
Liverpool just for them to run away.
It's very rare that these type of teams give away their best players in January, because usually there's not enough money, or you're not good enough as a team to fund a replacement just to help another team go and aspire what they want to aspire to. I think during the summer these transfers are way more realistic, but in January it's going to be very difficult.
That's why they look for release
for some of the names you lot are saying, very, very difficult and unrealistic in my opinion.
I mean, like I said, there's some strikers that you just have to wait till the summer. But I'm like, for somebody who's on loan from Napoli to Galatasaray, and you talk to Napoli says 50 million. I think that's a steal from the whole 1,800, because I thought that the price for him a couple of seasons ago was ridiculous. I was like, who's paying 100 million for this guy? Like, I didn't rate him to be 100 million striker. But I'm saying right now, with Saka out of the team, we get somebody who can cover for Saka and can play on the left as well. I think it has to be somebody who's versatile. Get a striker up front, which is like an Osimhen, and show up again, maybe one more person in the midfield, if we need to. And I think we're ready.
I think you guys already needed a left. You was already in dire need of a left winger before Saka's injury.
Yeah, the left would have been
and a right winger really as well at the same time.
No, Saka wasn't injured. I think, not gonna lie, I think this is a long shot, but I think Nwaneri is good enough to cover the right wing position. It's just about how long for. I think you're probably better off bringing the left winger and a striker in, because I think that Nwaneri is a better right wing cover than Martinelli is a first team winger. And
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
And I
but-
also think there's not enough goals in Jesus and Havertz. I actually like Jesus, and I think Havertz is a bit underrated at times in what he provides for Arsenal. But if we're talking closing the gap, you guys aren't leading the pack like Liverpool. If you're leading the pack, it'd be a bit of a different, but you're not leading the pack. You're having to make up ground. So I understand wanting the board to kind of do something. I just think that left side and that striker are probably a little bit more important than the right side for Saka to come back in April.
Saka's not back until April. That's the first thing. So
that's I know. Trust me. I know.
So my thing is Ethan is going to have to play a lot of games again for a 17-year-old who's holding his own right now. Remember, we're still playing the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. We're still in the Champions League.
Good enough. You're old enough, bro.
No, I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying that'll be a lot of. Hear me out. I'm saying volume of games. He's good enough to play. You will still need somebody to rotate with him so that he doesn't burn out too. That's my point. Like, regardless of how good you are, which is why where we are at today with Saka, because we didn't have a cover for him. If we had somebody who could rotate in multiple games like that, like if the Raheem Sterling had worked out, which it did not, which is stupid, that would have been good rotation for Saka to not probably get the injury that he has right now. So, yeah, Ethan can cover, but I will still need to get somebody. That's why I said I want a versatile player who can play left and right. That way, in certain games, I can still play Martinelli on the left, play this guy on the right, rest Ethan, so that Ethan can get more, playing, at least last till the end of the season. Because Saka coming back in April, he's still going to need to play a few games to get back into form. Coming back from that type of injury, from a hamstring, like where you've had surgery. So he's still going to need a couple of games and then get into form. And by that time, season is over. We're entering into May. He's coming back end of April. So, so I'll still need cover for Ethan. I'm not just going to have just Ethan on the right alone.
Yeah, it's not a bad way to look at it. Not a bad way to look at it. What are you saying, Ches? Being kind of quiet.
I walked into the conversation. I didn't realize until about 2 o'clock, Tom, what was going on in terms of Arsenal signing an attacking player to cover for Saka. They needed one for time. This is a boring conversation. We have some conversation every single window. They need an attacker to back up Saka or competition. It never happens, and then we're in a cycle. And eventually he gets injured. And what does everyone say? We need a backup. So they need it to happen. Like Bont said, the only way you get players in January who are that quality is money. That's it. No hopium. It's not contract. It's just money. If you put down the money, if you want to pay West Ham over the odds for Kudos, cool. But that's your L for the summer. And that's not going to happen, is it? You're not going to splash out 90 M's on Arteta. So for me, maybe look at some release clauses, pre-contracts, all that jazz. But in terms of them needing backup for Saka has been a thing. And the excuse of not certain people on this panel, but some people say, oh, well, what if Saka comes back and Kudos is balling out? That's how football is, isn't it? Cream rise to the top. If you can't sustain your level with competition, you shouldn't be at a big club. End of.
Yeah, remember, there's a chance here that Saka doesn't come back the same player. I mean,
bro,
just had surgery.
100%.
So...
When you say that, people look at you sideways.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, what do you mean? Hoping? No, you're just hoping. No, like, we've seen players in this league fall out, get mad injuries, and they're not the same. It's certain players, even Van Dijk, for example, when he came, who had a bad injury at Liverpool once? Was it Van Dijk?
Yeah, Van Dijk.
What, when in 2021?
Yeah, so Van Dijk, I remember correctly. My memory was right, yeah. He got an injury. He wasn't the same for like 2 years. It's only now he's showing a certain level. This season.
No. It was the one year. Because remember, because we tried to.
Was it a gap? How long was the gap though? That's my point.
It was a good year. It was one season. It was.
So my point is, yeah. So that's my point. When you get a mad injury, these players don't just come back. So Arsenal fans getting the hope of, we just need to cover for the next 4 months. And no, bro. Like, let's walk in reality with me.
Yeah, but the reality is this, right? The reality is he comes back end of April, he gets maybe 1 or 2 games, season ends, and he gets to recuperate again, and then we can start preseason and see where he's at. He's injured at the time, and the time frame of his injury kind of even favors him to the point where it's like he's going to get enough time to try to recover and get his fitness back. Nobody's saying he's going to come back to become the same level immediately. That's why I said, regardless of what it is, I want a player that is versatile on both sides, because right now...
Yeah, I know you do, but I'm not saying for you. You agree, like Pedro Neto, Kudos, them kind of man, you would happily take him last summer. So I'm not saying you, but certain Arsenal fans that I've spoken to, I hear on Twitter or whatever, they're saying, like, if we get a good player, what happens to this winger? what happens to that wing? It doesn't matter, bro. Like, quality is quality. You're meant to stack up to where if that player falls out, this player can come in. Yes, they might not be 8 out of 10s. The drop might be 1 level or 2 levels, but you've got someone to come in. Now people relying on Nwaneri, and now I'm hearing about age. That's been a problem since last summer. No one should be shocked. Your club just doesn't do enough.
Nobody's talking about Ethan's age. We're talking about volume of games he has to play because we're still in.
No, but I'm saying because your club doesn't invest properly in your team, you're now stuck with a guy who's 17 years old, going to be 18 this year. Yeah? To rely on him to put out numbers that Saka was doing, not the same numbers, but the same quality in terms of performance.
Yeah, if he's good enough to make the first team, then he's good enough to carry the pressure. But I'm talking about volume of games. That's the difference, which is why I said he still needs cover for the amount of games he's going to play.
Sterling's back in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's good.
He's back in 3 weeks. He's not
exactly. Well, that's my point. That's my point.
I didn't hear
even the guy they got. Yeah, you don't know me. The guy they got, Sterling. If you didn't even know this, on deadline, there Arsenal fans were actually telling me he'd be a better signing than Sancho. That's Arsenal. That's the Arsenal.
I didn't really hear that. Thank you tweets.
That's
thank you tweets.
Don't tell me. Not everyone hitting the same stick with. It's not every single person, but the large majority of fans were mocking me for taking my scrub.
That's because you're in a very toxic circle on Twitter with the kind of Arsenal fans.
I don't use it.
You don't really use it.
Yeah, or whatever platform you're on. If you go to the right circles and talk to level-headed people who actually know ball and look at it, would tell you, listen, we all knew Raheem Sterling was a stopgap measure because the players we wanted deadline day, we didn't get the deal done. Fair enough, that happens in clubs. There are players that Liverpool wanted, Zubimendi, that it didn't happen. Does it mean that they're crap? No. So at the end of the day, these things happen where you don't get the players that you want, and you can try and say, okay, well, we still need someone to cover. Now the Raheem Sterling that should even be covering for a few games is injured, and then Ethan has to step in. Okay, so fair enough. Now we have Ethan. What do? You look at the table, and the injury again happens at the time where the window is open, and we can make some additions. The question is Arsenal as a club going to make additions who are level raisers, or are we going to make additions who are ceiling breakers? That's my question.
Exactly, yeah. That's the thing.
My thing is, my personal opinion is, if you're going to go hard or go home, get ceiling breakers. If Liverpool does a madness starting from this weekend, and they win every game till the end of May and go unbeaten, even if I buy all the best players in the world, I wouldn't blame my team because Liverpool did a madness and went unbeaten. Now, if I buy players who are level ceiling breakers and Liverpool has a blip, I want to trust that these ceiling breakers are going to be able to get it over the line for me. That's the kind of players that I need us to get.
Exactly,
so
man.
Well, you've also, for me, you got to worry about your manager being able to get certain things out of the players in terms of his play style and game. Because so far this season, the play style has been, I think, has taken you not a massive step back. Because for me, your floor is still higher than a lot of team ceilings. But for the level that I kind of look at Arsenal, I still think you've taken a small step back in terms of the way you've been playing in your play style. So that also goes beyond the players that you have as well. Because it was the same players that were mowing teams down a couple of years ago. Weren't no one different. So
yeah, I hear you and I agree with you. Maybe the style is different. But
no, the style is different.
I know, yeah. Like I said, the style is different, but the output is pretty similar. This same time last season we had 40 points. This season we're at 39. We're just 1 point short, which means so my thing is it's annoying. The style has changed and you're still right around the same. You haven't gone up. You've slightly gone down. Liverpool
stagnated.
Stagnated. Liverpool this time last season was at 42 points. This season you had 45 points. So that's not stagnation, right? That I would classify as getting better, because that's one game better than what you had last season. So at the end of the day, the most important.
Well, we played one less game, so technically it could be
high, which is why I said you guys have gone up. The styles changed. We've kind of stagnated. So generally, you have to bring in people that are just going to break the ceiling. That's how you move the team forward. That's the only way.
Why do you think? Why are you stagnating though?
What do you mean? Why are we stagnating?
Like, why have you not improved from last season? This point to last season, you said that last season you had one more point you do now. Why is that the case? Where another year?
Yeah, two seasons ago we were at 47 points at this time of the season. 2 seasons ago.
How come you're going backwards each season?
So my point. Well, of course, every season. Like if you look at the table this season,
so far.
No, I'm saying so far. Chelsea's improved. Games get tougher. Nottingham Forest is doing a madness. Games get it changes every season. Just
Yeah.
because you were able to do something last season where certain teams fell off and it was a bit more conducive for you. Now you're in the season where the only top team that I think really has fallen out this season, I would say, is Manchester City. United last season were where they were. They're still somewhere right around where they were from last season. The only top...
I'm not trying to be rude. What's that? I asked you a question. I said
no. I said the reason it's gotten tougher because there's more teams have all improved. The player level, player style, like the kind of caliber of players in teams now are tougher. You can't just be like, oh, we're going to go to this team and just beat them. So we're right around where we still are, like skill set wise. We changed our style of play, but we stagnated as regards to the points. So for me, it's like it's not an excuse to say, oh, well, we stagnated because the players are not good. No, it's just teams got tougher and we didn't prep enough for it. That's on us. That's on us.
Yeah, fair enough. Because literally, it's good that we said at the end. You saved it at the end because there's a lot of waffle in there. Because I was about to say Liverpool literally changed their manager and improved by how many points?
Yeah, because Liverpool
by 3. Like it's so marginal that it's like.
The point is Liverpool are favourites to win the league from now.
Yeah, they've been. Yeah, I've said that since.
So like whether it's marginal or not, the narrative.
I think it's. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's more than marginal, but.
Hold on, but also you have to realize.
I'm going with their rhetoric. There's marginal. I don't.
No. But also you have to.
We played the game less and got more points.
But you
have to factor in the fact that Liverpool, as a squad, was already this squad. It was already a made, like literally apart from your midfield that you changed last season that didn't work on that club and all that. I think the core of Liverpool has always been there. From Mo Salah to Virgil van Dijk to Trent Alexander-Arnold to Alisson, these are key people that keep your team and make it solid.
Yeah, but
hold on.
It wasn't the energy during the summer when we weren't making sense.
I'm actually going to help Liverpool.
No, I agree. Mons, you didn't hear what I said about your midfield. I said, barring your midfield, that you guys had to change everybody in your midfield, which I felt was a big deal and didn't work on that club like you would have liked it to work. What you had was you had the core of your team who are world-class players, and then you had a manager who knows how to use them, comes in, and he does the job. So, you can't sit here and not give kudos to the Liverpool players. Mo Salah has been scoring 20-something plus goals since how many years?
I hear you there, yeah. Can I just want to I'll back Liverpool for a second, yeah, because I was one saying that they would finish third and compete for top 4, like lower echelon, not top 2, top 4. So now I can't, like what you're saying is the league just got harder for Arsenal and it's your fault, therefore you stagnated. That's what you said. That's what you said.
It's our fault, yeah.
That's what you said, right? But then Liverpool changed their manager, basically the same team, crappy transfers, and have improved. So I
Liverpool improving has made.
Let me debunk this real quick.
Let me ask you a question first before you go talk over me. Yeah. As I was saying, when I asked you the question, why have you stagnated? And then you said to me the league's got worse, and we haven't done it.
I didn't say worse.
Said the league's got harder.
Harder, yeah. The league's got harder, so like it's harder to get points. Is that your point?
No, that's my point. I said the league's got harder, and we did not strengthen. We should have strengthened, but that's what I said. The league was getting harder. Teams were getting better, and we did not strengthen. We thought we could.
Not the Liverpool.
The difference with Liverpool, again, I'm going to debunk what you just said now. Last season, Liverpool, right? Liverpool was at the top of the league longer than Manchester City and Arsenal. Yes or no? Yes or no? Good.
Yeah.
So this same Liverpool team challenge, the only reason Liverpool fell off last season, and I'm not going to lie, I was happy they fell off, was when they started having mad injuries and they're playing kids. When they started having mad injuries,
it was actually when the Trents and the Salahs came back.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying you guys struggled you dropped points.
Yeah, I'll say that as well.
Kids. And again,
you bottled it before the injuries. Let's not do that.
It was after the injuries. We got the injuries.
I meant
So that means you agree with what I'm saying. When players come back from injury, it takes a while for them to reach their fitness. So your players came back, and that was the period where you guys started. And we've said that already.
You could also argue that I agree with that. But you can also argue that the manager didn't do good enough.
Yeah,
it's not. I I believe football. Like, listen to this. Football for me now has changed so much that it's just a bit of luck. As much as this will break
fine
people's
margins,
thing,
it's fine margins.
it's fine margins. It's a VAR decision. It's a player missing a sitter. It's a goalkeeper pulling off a worldie and then going to score the other end. It is absolutely a flip of the coin. The manager in this day and age has so little to do with what goes on that pitch these days. The only thing a manager can do, which Maresca can't, is make in-game substitutions and change a game that he's struggling with at the moment. That's the only impact. I had to get my little Chelsea dig in there, but essentially that is what is happening in modern day football at the moment. That all this preparation, all that shit that goes on the field, can be thrown out of a window in the margins of a game, in the margins of one big. The biggest thing I always remember is that there's that Arsenal-Liverpool game at Anfield where that one stupid Granit Xhaka moment changed the whole fucking game because of one piece of luck, one piece of madness, one moment. Football for me is that. The league has got harder. The league has got harder. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
because your teams like Bournemouth.
Let me tell you this. I get the league's got harder, but that's not a reason for your team to stagnate. That's not a cause and effect. It's not like that's not how football. I get it's reality of it. Right? Teams improve every year, innit? So it's harder to get points.
It's
but
both.
At the same time,
it's both.
Yeah. If Liverpool, for example, next season fall off, let's say they win the league and they fall off and get in the top 4 battle, and Monts goes, "Oh, the league's got harder, man. We're gonna grill him for it." That's not an excuse. If Scott comes out and goes, "Yo,"
excuse. It's not.
What are you?
I don't think he's using it as an excuse. It's
what are you
fact,
grilling
though.
us
The league does get harder.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I'm not grilling anybody. I'm just saying, if any team said this, like, it's not an excuse to say, in my opinion, I don't be an excuse to go, "Oh, why have we stagnated?" Well, we haven't done enough, and the league gets harder, man, and it's just.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
There's a lot of variables.
Let me ask you a question.
No, 100%.
Why has Chelsea fallen off in the last few games? Why have you guys been losing games lately?
Because you've been crap.
No, you can't just say you've been crap because it's the same.
The manager's bottling.
The same players. Hold on.
Let me answer your question. You can answer it for me. Do you want to answer my own question?
I've not finished my question though. I said the same players who 3, 4, or 4 games ago, 5 games ago, were killing teams suddenly are losing back to back. What's the reason?
We play Axel Disasi.
He doesn't trust all his players that we've given him. And the second thing is, the pressure's getting to him. I think.
Fucking hell.
That's your excuse. It's on the managers.
You said I was not an excuse.
I'm asking. I said it. I said it's on the manager, and he's not trusting players. And
I can call it for what it is. I'm not like certain people can sugarcoat. I'll say how it is. My manager's pressured. He's getting pressured. He's not handling it, and he doesn't trust the squad. If you want to say an excuse, use rainbows and go, "Oh, cheers." I'm being real. Like, he's not handling the pressure.
Okay, so now that you say it, he is bottling it. The fact that he's playing Disasi over Achiempong, the fact that he's not like, he's overdoing it now. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that Arteta's doing. He's overthinking it a little bit. Like he's got Cucurella, the inverter. He's got Cucurella, the inverter, holding the width instead of Gusto holding the width and having like.
That's his pressure. So when I asked the other question, why have we stagnated?
I said because
it is literally our fault.
I don't know what more. I asked Mont, why is Liverpool improved? Mont,
what did I say?
Why is Liverpool improved since last year?
Chaz, what did I say? What was my response? What was my response, Chaz?
No, I want to see like if I get a similar response from Mont because he's ahead of you. Mont, why you've improved this year? Like, why have you improved? What is it?
I'd say we've improved because our midfield core has been at the team long enough. Like last season, our midfield, our whole midfield was completely new. So like they've all got to kind of get used to the team at the same time, and obviously, I think our midfield's vastly improved. Gravenberg's he's gone off. McAllister's got better. Endo no longer plays, and I think Curtis Jones has improved as well. And that's also probably due to the manager playing a style that suits the midfield. That's no longer Wijnaldum, flipping Henderson. You know the runners that we had. It was a runners thing. Apart from Szoboszlai, this system probably suits the other 3 guys more than what Klopp was doing. So I think that combined with, I think the rest of the guys, obviously Gakpo as well. I just think slots came and improved most of the players that weren't doing well on the clock, and the other players such as the Van Dijks, the Trents, the Allisons, the
so Mons, from what you've just told me, I can decipher very briefly, correct if I'm wrong, yeah, that the midfield has improved together in terms of chemistry, understanding, etc. Yeah, the manager's getting the best out of the midfield, which was one of your main issues last year, and he's improving players. So two out of the 3 reasons,
and City have dropped off as well. I think City.
because regardless if City dropped off or not, you'd still be in the race. If that makes sense.
but still be.
So,
I think
exactly.
we'd still be ahead of them. I think we'd be ahead of them.
Exactly. So if I'm using logical reasoning, no banter, like, oh, you're crap. The thing what you're saying is 2, 3, 4 points you made is the manager. So you didn't mention to me, oh, teams have got weaker or we've handled. No, it's just your team is improved, so therefore you get more points, and therefore you're higher in the position in the table. So I'll stay with a simple question.
What's good?
They're not actually higher though.
About teams in the league that get harder. Come on, man.
They're not actually higher though.
Standards, man.
Again. See, this is what
they're not actually higher.
Hold on.
Wait,
One second. Chaz just likes to push buttons, right?
No, but he's got.
I'm not even trolling. Oh my god! Hey, Kaz, am I trolling? Is this me trolling?
He's actually got a comprehension problem. So
very heavy comprehension problem. Very heavy.
Help me out here.
Liverpool, were, and I'm not trying to troll here because let's have it right. Liverpool are playing good this season, but the point that's being said is Liverpool, are only 3 points better off than what they were last season, but they're in the same position that they was in last season. Arsenal are only 1 point worse off than what they was last season. Now, I mean, I'm not bad at math. I'm not bad at math, and we have a math teacher here or X that can confirm what I'm about to say. 1 and 3 are very marginal numbers. Very marginal.
That's what it is, though. It's fine margins, though.
Very, very marginal numbers. Now, there's a lot of things that I could say to have the football conversation, but I know as soon as I say these things, you're going to be like, oh, excuse. So
why are you worried about my response? Just say what you need to say.
I can't be asked to go through the trolling. So just plain and simple, Plain and simple, the league has got harder. The fact that Liverpool have more points than what they have last season and are playing better than what they was playing last season is an indicator the league's got harder. The fact that Nottingham Forest are where they are is an indicator the league's got harder. The fact that Chelsea are where they are is an indicator that the league has got harder. You can look at many teams across the board and see, okay, the league has got harder because the level has risen. This is not an excuse. It's just a fact. The league has got harder. Now,
it's still down to Arsenal to improve. I think they.
So why is he? Why? Okay, because it's Dio that made the point. Why is Dio not allowed to say the league has got harder? And what did I say?
And what did I say after that?
Let me finish that. Then you can talk as long as you want. There's a few things that we've done that's made us worse. But in the 22-23 season, everyone was saying the only reason Arsenal are where they are is because the league is weaker. This is what everybody said.
Yep.
Everybody.
That was the narrative. Remember that?
That was the narrative. So why can Dio not say the league's got harder, but you was all allowed to say the league got weaker when Arsenal was fighting?
You're allowed to make it clear.
No, just answer the question.
Let me answer it then.
You asked me a question, right? And I said the league has gotten harder, and we thought that we thought that because we had a strong core of players, we just needed some floor raisers, and we did not do enough. When you asked me why we are stagnated, I said we did not do enough. And again, coupled with the fact that the league's got harder, you need to bring ceiling breakers. I said that simply in those words, like, oh,
no, I agree with your point about the ceiling.
But then you turned around and said, when I asked Mons boiled it down to the manager. All the 3 or 4 points that Mons talked about boiled down to the manager and how he's improved the team. When I asked Dio, he said the league's gotten harder. The league, like, what are you doing? What are you trolling for? What are you trolling for?
I'm going to make like a long-winded way of saying that you lot aren't as good as it used to be.
I think they've just gone.
It's like a very long-winded way of saying it. Like everybody else got better and you lot got worse because of it.
I think the Arsenal fans know that they've stagnated / got worse, And I
Yeah.
think it's fair to say Liverpool have improved. That is the conversation could have been
That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear.
But Deo did say he did say that he did say
what he said
Deo
was
said
this.
he said it's the league's got harder and we've stagnated. He said both.
I said
The second part, I think, for me personally, his response.
You know, he doesn't want to
Let me respond.
Yeah,
Because you have to learn to listen. I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm saying the second part
need to learn to listen.
You need to learn to listen, bro.
The
You need to learn to listen.
self-awareness is crazy. You know what?
Because you're answering your own questions. You don't like to listen, do you?
Let me run these. Zubi Dubby Doo were coming for you. Said the last time. Kirkez Zubamendi in January plus Isak in the summer. Wow.
SP.
That would be madness. That would be a madness.
I feel like we can really spend because of the amount we've freed on our wage bill over the recent season. Henderson, Firmino, Mane, Fab Keita. And then Jaden says Saka's overrated anyways. Kudu has more potential. Crazy. Kubo ain't no ceiling breaker, man.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not. Some people in the chat gotta be stupid or trolls. You're a troll, to be fair. How's that a bomber? Same thing could be said at this minute in time. We have a better manager too. Is what he said. But also keep smashing the likes, people, man. We're not even on 200. That sucks. We don't usually stream at this time of night on a Thursday. It was just more of a pop-up stream and whatnot. You know, just got to do extra, I suppose. But moving away from Arsenal is this. I want to know one thing with you two. Yeah. Maresca, especially you. Yeah. What's the fab tip? What's the fab tip? What is that?
Fabrizio tweeted, it's the same thing that Ornstein tweeted the other day ago, but it's still a tweet in it. You not seen it?
No.
Says Real Madrid maintain their stance on Trent Alexander-Arnold deal. If it won't be possible to negotiate with Liverpool in January, Real Madrid will push with the player to try and bring him in as a free agent in July. Official contacts between Trent and Real Madrid.
So Fabrizio is doing a tap-in recycle tweet thing that we already know. Yeah, amazing.
I do have to go, but yeah. Listen,
Calm.
lads, love, and Arsenal guys, don't worry, man. The rattles won't be long. Love.
Yeah, well, it's still going to be there. I was going to say this. So if Maresca loses, right, his next game, what's the Chelsea fan base going to be like?
I don't know. I'm going to put out another bait tweet though, because everyone was flaming me for that. It done views though.
Wait, VD, what did you say?
Oh no, I said after the game, innit? I put out like
I know what
because I knew it was gonna do numbers in it, and I need the numbers because of a certain thing on Twitter, innit? Like if you see that little logo at the bottom, I need the numbers. But no, I don't care, man. Listen, he's brought us to a good spot, innit? We're playing good football. I think he's kind of like we said, he's bottling it, innit? Like it's like the pressure's getting a bit to him. Like simplify things a little bit. Let Gusto hold the width. Maybe, I can't lie, I think Palmer's got to go out wide and start moving inwards. Because when he's in the middle, you're not going to throw two men out wide. Like, you're not going to throw a DM or whatever out wide. And he's nice when he's out and he can move in and he can move freely. It's harder to mark him when he's out wide, I feel, when he's drifting in, than him staying in the middle and just dropping deep. Like, he's not moving, you know, like a figure of 8. He's kind of just moving in a directional line, and I don't like it, man. I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't see an issue personally. I think obviously can't go on forever in it, but I don't think it's a massive issue.
What do you mean by the pressure is getting to him?
Because the Chelsea fans would do me. VD, yeah. Literally, I was gonna say the exact same thing, bro. I was gonna say no one would actually. The Chelsea fan base wouldn't be that deep. People, people said VD. Yeah, me choose VD first. People said, if you don't care about the title race, why are you annoyed you lost to Ipswich?
Because it's still Ipswich.
That's what I heard. Yeah. Does that make any fucking sense to you? We lost to Ipswich. Of course.
Did you hear that, Hooks? Ches swearing. Strike one. You don't. You say shit and stuff like that. But the F word, it sounds like it's a bit of a touchy subject. Do you know what I mean?
I'll make it PG for people who obviously I respectfully like. Even my mum don't like what I say. But listen, yeah.
You swear in front of your mum?
No, I don't. That's the thing.
That's crazy.
Doesn't like when I'm on the streams, you don't like it when I swear in it. But anyway, yeah. Like Chelsea fan base wouldn't be that deep. It would be the rivals that will make it deeper than it actually is. Honestly, we could lose probably. Yeah, I'll probably say the threshold's probably Crystal Palace. If we lose that game, then lose the next one, then it's like, oh. But honestly speaking, when people go into me, if you don't care about the Tyrese, why you know they got lost to Ipswich? It's because it's Ipswich. They're rubbish. You have to be beating them regardless if you're in top 4, top 8, top 10, top 2, top 3. Regardless if we're third, first, doesn't matter. You got to beat Ipswich. So of course
also.
And the way
you don't want to see your team lose, innit? Like no one wants to see their team lose, so you're going to be regardless.
To be the point here, the reason why Chelsea fan base overall, not the people you hear loud who are small minority, the people overall, won't be that annoyed is because a lot of the narrative from the same rivals that are cooking us now was you won't get top 4. Yes, my man Hooks and that were different. The anomalies you said you get top 3. Certain people in this chat may even Josh had us top 8. Josh, there's a receipt for you as well. He didn't put us to be anywhere near top 4. So them same people now can't see us be good, lose 2 games in a row, and then go, oh, you're crap, you're average. Don't make sense. Pick a side. And
well, it does if you're consistent.
Josh, you in particular, Josh, you need to pick a side.
Consistent.
Crap, or we're not crap. You can't be like, oh, you're crap, and then
Yo. Hold on, I've been consistent, and hence why this never a foul chat. All the Chelsea fans have gone at me every week when I've come on here, right? And big up to Little Tim's because I've seen him in the chat. He's hyped me up in a sense. I have been consistent about Maresca. I've talked about his in-game management because I saw it at Leicester City last year. It's happening, and for the last 2-3 weeks, I have kept saying this Maresca. I've got my eyes on Chelsea. Been watching Maresca. His patch was coming. Let's see what he does and see how he manages it.
That's a fair point. To answer your question.
I'd rather it come sooner.
You just said the last 3 games, You say you said the last 3 games, looking at him in particular. Where was this same? I'm looking at Maresca's in-game management. The first 18 games.
All season long, I've been saying no, Chess. Listen,
you saying this for Chelsea?
You had to go at everyone. You had to go at everyone for not listening, right? You had to go at everyone in this channel for not listening. You're not listening to me. I predicted Chelsea to finish 8th. I've said all season long, Maresca will struggle as Chelsea manager. He's not cut out for this job. He's going to find a situation at some point in the season where there's going to be pressure on him. I said Maresca, if you go back to start, I said Maresca needs a good start at Chelsea. I said he actually needs a really good start at Chelsea. And you can go back on one of these Never a Foul streams. I said this at the very start before Balls Kit. He needs a good start. He got that good start. I said that will help him. I said because the style of football and what he does and the pressure of in-game management, it will come to a point where Chelsea fans will start scratching their head and going, I'm not sure about this guy. What's happening now is you've had 2 games where it has absolutely been highlighted to the world. And yes, the reason why that is because Chelsea started so well this season and put yourself in a position of pressure and expectation now. You have done that by starting so well and being in that top 3 where Man City have fallen off and all of a sudden. So my stance has been the same all season. I said Maresca will struggle as Chelsea. Chelsea will fall out of that top 4. Chelsea will not be a top 4 finisher.
Just to make it very clear for this stream and for me personally, Chelsea are going to finish 8th.
Pardon? So my pre-season
say a statement. Don't talk all of this. Not give me a statement. Where Chelsea going?
Let him speak though. Let him speak.
Chez, you're now doing what you've just accused someone of.
No, because Hooks
interrupted your own question. You just asked me a question. You just asked me a question, and you're trying to now answer it by basically forcing me to say Chelsea are going to finish 8th. Okay, I see what you're trying to do. Let me give my statement. Let me give my statement. Pre-season, I predicted
Chelsea. You don't put words in my mouth here and overtalk me after. Do you understand?
Wait, Josh in
this stream. You just said on this stream when Hooks interrupted you. You just said to us, "I am looking at Chelsea differently in the last 3 games." Correct. No, you Hooks. Yeah, you just said, Josh. Yeah, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm looking at Maresca differently in the last 3 games. I predicted start of the season. Chelsea will go to a certain point where they'll question the manager and scratch their heads is the words you use. You also said start of the season, we need a good start. You also said start of the season, we needed a good start so that when we drop off, it'll look a certain way. Do you know what I'm saying? So now you're saying Chelsea are going to fall off a bit. So I want to know where we're going to fall off to. That's my question.
Wait. Okay, Josh, before you go. Josh, before you go, But this, you know how jarring this is? Josh is here, literally, explaining in detail from a footballing perspective, why he has never believed in Chelsea and why what is currently happening now is not a surprise. And you're trying to boil it down into the most basic form of, Just give me a statement of where you think Chelsea are going to finish.
I predict, like, be Nostradamus. Turn into Nostradamus and tell me what.
When they don't finish,
I got people who can't use their brains on this channel.
He was going to finish 8th. He finished 4th. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't need anybody to say me.
My understanding of what Josh said.
You respond to Hooks directly.
Bro, Josh, am I
let Hooks land.
Bro, he's bare trying to detail it and talk ball, and you interrupt him to say, I don't want to hear all of this. Just tell me where you think we're going to finish. Do you know what I mean? Like, what we doing?
Hooks, can we respond to you directly? What you just said.
My understanding of what Josh said. No, Chaz.
Hooks addressed me. So I want to land. I want to respond to Hooks. You can talk after me, bro. I just want to respond to Hooks.
Okay,
he just said to me, I'm not listening to Josh. I don't know what he's talking about. Me and Josh here, for context, we spoke in a WhatsApp chat, went back and forth. Well, I said Chelsea prediction start of the season. He gave a prediction as well. So what he's saying right now is not any different to what he was saying back then. But why I'm questioning him is because he's saying this now after a worst spell this season.
No, but he's been saying it from the beginning of the season, though. He's been saying it from the beginning.
Let me have my point, bro.
What don't you understand? Like, I sat with Josh on one other stream, and I've only heard. And listen, and I've heard him say.
You interrupted me.
I do kind of. Okay, I see what you mean.
I heard Josh say this. Josh said,
you know what I'm saying?
I see what you mean now. I see what you mean. At first, I didn't get it, but I see what you mean now.
But you don't for me because I think it's coming from my mouth and people know around.
No, I think he's saying so. Josh, you said that at the start of the season he needed a good start, which Maresca did. He got a good start, and he's going to go through a phase or a period like this where he's now going to mess up, right? So we're obviously doing really well now. We're 4th. Are we 4th? I think we're 4th still.
Yeah.
So do you still think he's going to finish 8th? Do you still think?
That's my question.
That thing stays true.
So my point is,
I see what he means. I see both sides in it.
Okay, I'll answer that.
No, I see both sides.
I gave my logical reasons as to what's happening with Maresca and talking genuine ball. Ches wants me to have this clickbait point so we can come back to the end of the season and say that. So let me finish. So basically, before ball was kicked, we all made preseason predictions. My preseason prediction for Chelsea was 8th. Guess what? Everyone else predicted other things for Chelsea to finish. But I said the drop-off will be that Chelsea won't finish top 4. That's my new stance. Do I think they'll finish 8th? Probably not now, but I think they'll finish outside the top 4. Is that an okay statement for you?
Let me just add to also back up as well, Josh. Like, it's kind of hard to say it because, like you said, preseason, let's be real. No one expected City to drop off. Arsenal haven't been as good as they should have been. You know, we kind of got pushed into the situation at the same time. So it's kind of like you can't really win on both sides, innit? Like,
wait, VD,
can I just say my logic of what I've said about Maresca? What I've said about Maresca is what I'm standing by all season. That he will not. This pressure of the Chelsea job will be too much for him. He absolutely destroyed Leicester City the best way he could in the easiest way possible. And I said it's going to happen at Chelsea.
Just on that point, I respect that. But you know, David, let me respond to you first. Do you know why I have an issue with what he's saying? Because he's waited for Chelsea's worst patch to happen to say this. So I agree.
But
let me land. You will listen now, yeah?
No, I just said, are you on about me? Are you on about me?
Josh, I'm speaking to Dave's point because he was agreeing with you because Hooks has someone listen.
You can't tell me my understanding of what he said. My understanding
I'm telling you what he's saying.
You can't tell me my understanding.
No, you're a cartoon character.
You can't tell me my understanding of what somebody else said. This is the dumbest thing. Like, how can you tell me my understanding of what the guy said? What I heard Josh say was this is what I heard. What I heard Josh say.
Listen, you know what?
I can't hear like 3 different people at once. Let Ches land.
But Ches, you can't tell me what I understand.
I'm not telling you. I'm not rewriting. Listen, please. Don't listen to respond. Listen to listen. I'm not rewriting what he's saying. I'm not rewording what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that Josh said beginning of the season, Chelsea won't be good this season. We'll finish 8th in the league. Cool. He gave his reasons why, and he just listed it out again twice on the stream. He's already said, I don't need to repeat. Why I'm annoyed of what he's saying is he waited until this point to say his point. Because when Chelsea had touched her,
But you just said he said it at the beginning of the season that he predicted.
Let me land, bro. Let me land.
Bro, he
When
said that they
Chelsea-
talk in a WhatsApp chat.
My
Bro,
brain-
I can't lie. He's a
You're not
cartoon
We're not
character.
talking to a 5-year-old here now. We're not fifth graders.
I can't lie,
Yeah.
Chairs. I can't lie. Just hold on for a second. Like, listen to what you're saying just for a second, yeah. He remember right. He said. Josh said Maresca needs a good start, yeah, and he said they will fall off because Maresca is not good enough for this. So now that Chelsea are falling off, he's bringing up the point to say he said this would happen.
That's all it is.
So like he's kind of valid here. He's kind of valid here.
I don't think Josh
My
I don't think Josh predicted Chelsea to be this high though this season though. Where we are now though.
I don't think that really like
He
plays
just said
high
he
though,
didn't-
because
he
it's
didn't
like
predict the
circumstantial,
start.
isn't it?
He didn't predict
Because
where
they're
you'll
there.
be.
That's my point. That's my point though.
My
I hear
listen, but Chaz,
I hear
how
what
is it
Josh
that
is.
listen, how is it that I
I'm
understand it the same
not
way?
gonna lie to you, I don't want to hear
you
you speak. I'm trying to talk to you.
Of course, you don't want to hear me speak because you think you can bamboozle everybody. Everybody because you think like everybody is
louder than most people on the stream.
I think
If I have to overtalk, I will talk over you.
with your
If I have to
senseless opinion and
overtalk, I
telling
will
people
talk.
about how to think about what they need to think about.
Let's
If I have to overtalk you, I'll do it. People know I'm a trolling team today.
Dude,
Well done, you take me
you
out.
have two short
I'm
points in your head right now. They're just connected. Close your eyeballs. Chaz. Jesus.
Anyway, what I'm saying is, yeah, I'm doing a very good job.
Are you landing? Are you landing the plane or are you doing the monologue?
He's crashing into towers, bro.
I'm gonna lie like
He's
this. My
crashing
point
into
is,
buildings, bro.
Josh, I don't think predicted Chelsea to be this high where we are right now, innit? I know he said they need a good start, but I don't think in his heart of hearts he saw Chelsea being top 2, top 3 this early. So why I'm saying this is because like now we've gone through that bad spell. He's now saying, "Oh, my predictions come true. You're gonna fall off and you'll finish." He said 6th now, but 8th beginning the season. I don't think that will happen. So I'm just interested to see Josh's opinion if it's gonna flip flop during the season when we don't go on a 10-game losing run.
No.
Finish
Chaz,
in the
no
league.
offense. You haven't been here. You haven't been here to see me every Saturday, call out Chelsea and say you're still shit. You're still crap.
every
I'm
Saturday.
still coming for you.
You don't
well, all right, yeah, you know what I mean.
You weren't here for like 4 weeks.
But
What do you mean?
Hooks knows that I have had this narrative about
Guys,
Chelsea.
why is he
The chat
waffling like
knows,
I'm not
right?
on here like
The
4 or 5
Hook-
times a week? I never see your face.
On the Saturday, I said, mate, you're coming across really defensive now. On Saturday, okay,
Josh, you've
when
been
I come
hiding,
on,
bro.
but the chat comes at me for a reason. Chelsea fans come at me. Joey comes at me because I've been slating Chelsea. I'm sorry that I didn't predict. I'm sorry I didn't outline my overall preseason plan. Hooks. What I should have done is told Chez my whole preseason plan of saying I predicted Chelsea to be in the top 3 or 4 come January. Sorry, I didn't know you wanted the exact specifics of where you were in the league.
But it's implied by you saying
he needed a good start. He said he needed a good start.
8th is mad though. 8th is mad. That
was his preseason.
Wait.
Even now he's saying 6. Even now he's saying 6.
No, he said no. Even now he said you'll fall out of the top 4. He didn't say 6. What I heard him say,
that's mad to me. That's mad.
He said you fall out of the top 4. He didn't say 6. You're saying 6. You're the one who said
big pause, by the way.
All he said was you fall out of the top 4.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey, what you say, Hooks?
Where did you predict Arsenal?
I said you win the league.
You said Arsenal win the league. VD, where did you predict Arsenal to finish?
2nd, 1st.
So we're doing
second.
So we're doing exactly what you thought we'd do, right?
Yeah.
No.
Cool. So
you're underperforming to me. That's
maybe so, but not to everybody. Do you see?
You've asked me a question, then you're talking about everyone else.
Because this may be.
Why are you waffling about?
You've shown me.
You asked me a question and reference everyone else.
You showed me that you have a severe comprehension problem. You may not.
You just asked me a question, and everyone else said this though.
Wait, many people in the world make predictions.
Am I going mad? Chesney, where did you predict? Everyone else did you finish first?
Bro, the mere fact that you have the nerve to tell anybody to listen on is crazy.
You just addressed me and then said everyone else.
I asked you a question, and do you know why? Because obviously, this is what I mean when I say comprehension problem. I have to movie direct the whole thing. So I asked you, and then I asked VD to show you that different people have different predictions, and what one person predicts does not dictate what happens in a season, bro. Why can you not comprehend this, bro? Josh, where did you predict Arsenal to finish?
I've had Arsenal 3rd. I had Liverpool 2nd, City 1st.
Oh, wait. So we have Arsenal 1st, Arsenal second, and Arsenal third. Isn't it amazing how different
What is your
people
point?
All right.
predict different things?
Can I ask the better question rather than going back in circles? Yeah.
Oh,
You know, we've got other fans like since we can't just pin it all on Chez and VD here. If you do lose one more game, we have a whole receipt. CB said he's on strike 2. Strike 3, CB is proper Chelsea, standard Chelsea, all
yeah,
of that Chelsea.
we say he's Maresca out if you lose.
So what?
against
3 games in a
No,
in
but
a thing, man.
but
I've
he
been
said,
told CB in a week. I
but
don't
you
know.
know, a strike is usually 3 times. First strike is your warning,
Yeah.
second strike is whatever, the first strike you're out. So technically, CB's on his final bit with Maresca before he starts saying Maresca out. CB is a certain type of fan, obviously, and obviously there's a collective that agree with him. Hence, people follow what he says or agree with him. This is how quick it can get. Now, is that fair or unfair?
What, Maresca out if we lose against Palace?
Yeah, for you lot.
What, in terms of do I agree with that opinion or my opinion on it?
Well, him, do you think because he's gonna come on
Yeah,
and he's gonna say he's not good enough?
I speak to him. I can speak for his standards are like at the top, like winning the league every year. So like, if he doesn't think we're gonna win the league and compete minimum, he said this on my show. So like, he'll put it. You
do know we get toxic again if he does lose though. You know what your fan base are like. I'm gonna see like what's his name? What's his name? Toby and Sugar Sean doing fucking spaces and fucking whatnot.
Tobes,
and
man.
I'm gonna Johnny Minerals is gonna get popular again, and you know what it's gonna do.
Guys, I agree with that. The fan base is toxic, yeah, to a certain degree, but I feel like it won't be this game. I feel if we lose this game, it will definitely be a lot more like long pause. But I feel like the game after that, if we to draw or lose that game at home, I don't know who we got by the way. But if we were to draw or lose that game,
you got 2 games at home
Palace,
after that, don't you?
and then
Palace on Wolves or some shit.
Yeah, you got
Wolves
Wolves and
at
somebody
home.
else.
We don't beat Wolves at home.
Palace, Bournemouth, Wolves. Then
If we don't beat Bournemouth at home, for
There's
example,
some losses there. There's some bad losses coming up for Chelsea. There's some bad. There's some bad.
Wait,
losses
can I
coming
say they're suspended?
Kaz,
bad losses.
no, he's not. He's
Bad
not
losses.
suspended.
No, he's not.
Kaz, can I
I thought
something with
Bournemouth.
Maresca, right? Let me something with Maresca. With Maresca, I think where he has brought you guys to, very impressive. Let's not kid. Like
It's also with
impressive.
circumstances.
It's
though.
impressive. It's impressive what he's done with Chelsea so far. He will have his ups and downs, and I don't think that the fan base should lose their minds yet because literally nobody predicted Chelsea. Nobody. And this is why I said for me, what Chelsea have done so far, they've proved me wrong. And I can come out and say they proved me wrong. What Maresca has done so far is amazing. It's short of amazing. Because we all thought that Chelsea would be honest, I thought you'd be like 7th.
Dude, do you see a situation?
So my thing is, do
you think Chelsea can pull out top 4? Do you feel like
listen, if you continue at this rate,
if Chelsea lose. That's why it doesn't matter if Chelsea lose to Palace.
Listen, because here's
and Josh predicted them 8th. So it's fine.
Right, I want to quickly ask one more question here just before we wrap up, and it's to you, Josh. First of all, I don't get how Maresca destroyed Leicester. He promoted them and won the league.
I got that word.
So I get, yeah.
I got
Second
that
of all,
wrong. I should have
don't you think? So you predicted the downfall, but don't you also think like slightly disingenuous because look at the 2 goals we conceded against Ipswich. First of all, the lap dived. Second of all,
don't do that.
Poor Maresca,
please.
like it's poor Maresca, but it's not poor Maresca at the same time. He has to use the sassy, and like I don't wish that upon anyone. Like you get me, but he could have used Josh Achiempo.
Don't do this.
And he could have used.
I know, but
that's on your manager. He's picked the wrong team.
They made the wrong team. I know. So it's kind of half and half. And I also wanted to say another thing is you said he needs a good start, right? But that good start wasn't out of luck. That was because of Maresca doing his job very, very well. So you have to give him some credit because he started off doing a better job.
And Josh, that was my point. But I came across a bit like mad with the rat into him, but that was my point. I was trying to say like he done very well. So I know you said we have to get a buffer and all that. Yeah, it's all football talk now, no trolling. But for me, it's a bit disingenuous to say, "Oh, I predicted this. I see the downfall. I'm looking at him the last 3 games. Now Palace." For me, Josh, for me personally, it's kind of disingenuous to say that because you're not taking into account that we're still in the race and we're this high in the league that if we were to drop off, that would be a catastrophic 8th or 6th. Like if we were to finish 6th from now, people looking like a bottle team.
You're 3 points from 6th position right now. Hold on, you're 3 points from 6th position right now. You know that, right? Like literally, like the difference between your position, 4th position, and 7th is 5 points. That's 2 games. 2 games and a draw. Like if Maresca gets it wrong twice, back to back again,
and they were the same with the same token.
I know, but listen, but that's what I'm saying.
First.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it can be either way. The fact that there's a downward trend in the last 2 games now is a sign to say, listen, Maresca needs to get it right, because you drop off 3 points next. Now you're going down. Newcastle comes above you. Boom, you're going down. So it's tight margins, Ches. Nobody is saying that Maresca is terrible. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying your last 2 games. He says he's watched Maresca more. No, listen, he's watched Maresca more with Leicester. And he's saying that from the very beginning of the season, he said Maresca needs a good start because he's seen Maresca and how he plays his football. He usually makes bundles of mistakes in between. And listen, and I'll say this. Any manager that went to the championship and had those Leicester players and did not promote that Leicester team is a failure. That was practically one of the better teams in the championship. So let's not make it seem as if Maresca went there and got some. Now, Ipswich, I will give McKenna more of a gold star because he did it with Ipswich and got them into the Premier League.
Yeah, that argument that I disagree with, because I don't like the argument people use it with Pep as well. Like, he had money.
Can I respond to VD?
No.
Can I respond to VD? So I just want to say my thing comes from basically the one chance of what we got to see of Maresca in his first season of management. He flew out the blocks with Leicester. And that's why I said I can see him having a good start with Chelsea and needs that good start. If we know the story of Leicester City last season, I think at one point they were 21 points clear at one point in the Championship. They nearly lost automatic promotion. It took them literally nearly the last week of the season to get promoted. And what was happening then was the in-game mistakes, the few injuries that Leicester had, the way that Maresca managed it completely capitulated. And that's what I'm saying. It's not a guess. People in the chat are saying, just made a bold guess. No, I've looked at that Maresca signing from the first time it happened. I've looked at his patterns and I thought, I can see this happening at Chelsea. I genuinely still believe that he will have this drop-off. I think the pressure and expectation for him being Chelsea manager will come to fruition. And I think you will finish outside the top 4. I wanted to finish above Chelsea. From a Villa perspective, I wanted to go 3 seasons in a row. Villa will finish above Chelsea. That was also my mindset. I believe we were going in that direction. Do I think Villa will finish above Chelsea this season now? I think it's going to be either way. We either finish 5th or 7th. That's how I see it now with us. So just to be clear, my Maresca energy has been the same every time I've come on here. My Chelsea energy has been the same. I've been waiting for this, understandably, because it's the first time Chelsea have had this bad patch. And now but that's always going to be the point. Because I can't talk about a bad patch when it hasn't happened yet. If this was happening in April, I would then be, here's the patch.
I just think you're a little bit
shameless, but I understand it.
I just think a bit delusional.
I think what Josh is saying right now, based off what happened with Leicester, which is why probably you used the wrong words when you said he destroyed Leicester, which of course
that's my point there. When he's destroyed,
hold on. But how do you blow a 20-point lead though? That's the thing as a manager. You are a 20 points lead and you have to struggle at the end of the season to finally qualify. Like blowing a 20-point lead is mad, Ches. Which is why
I understand these points, but what I don't like is
which is why he's saying if Maresca tries the same thing, like Maresca starts off very well, he's at a point, maybe he gets comfortable. Maybe that's the kind of manager he is. He's like, I'm here now. I can start to tweak and tinker. I can mess around and let me try this person. Like what VD said, play acting form. No, he's not. He's going to play Disasi. Like, maybe he's not.
I understand when people talk about this season. If Josh was talking about this season and like, the in-game management last 3 games have been a bit poor. I predicted he would do this because Well, I don't like it when we lose 2 games out of like 10. And now I'm hearing VD all about last season at Leicester, the bottle job, his in-game man. Where was this?
He said
it can evolve in it. It can evolve.
Like it's not like the season's ended, guys. We lost 2 games out of 10, and everyone's like, look, not Josh. Josh, he's kept it consistent, so cool, fair play. But a lot of other fans are, look what happened at Leicester. He's doing the same thing now. We're not even first at any point. We're not even doing that.
Also, if you did watch Maresca last year, and Leicester fans will back it up, he was so stubborn. It's like he was like, yeah, no, these players are awful. Yeah, I ain't changing a damn thing. But this season, give credit to Maresca. He's actually changed things up quite a bit. Like he's changed positions that players are in. You know, it was literally at Leicester. He only invited the right back. It was only it was not allowed to be anyone else. But he's done it different this year, and he has changed things around. And we've seen a million different things. So I think it's a little bit disingenuous to say like he's the same as he was last season. But I also understand, from Josh's point of view, if he's been hammering this on all season and he finally gets the chance to say it, I'd do the same thing. I'm going to jump on it. It's a little bit shameless, but it's what it is, isn't it?
Anyways, it says Blaze says Josh is right. He's been consistently waffling all season. 3 games doesn't make you right. Did you call Emery a fraud for no wins, 11, and Maresca spanking his bottom?
That's basically my point, Josh. 3 losses, and this comes out. But if we be consistent, then cool.
No, but Chelsea, I think for me, let me be honest with you, I'm not even saying that Chelsea's going down the wrong path. I'm just looking at what happened with Maresca and how he blew a 20-point lead. And I'm saying to myself, if he applies that same behavior right now at Chelsea and you guys start losing games because he's trying to tinker stuff, trying to now try things out instead of just doing what he needs to do, regardless of the injuries, like just play, do the simple things and win the games, and he gets you guys down, it might just be a trait that this manager has, is what I'm saying.
100%. If you don't get top, dude, I'm with you. I've already called him out. Like,
that's all I'm saying.
We ain't just having this disagreement because start of the season we predicted 2 different things, and he's backing his point, I'm backing my point. But overall, if he keeps doing this and loses, am I going to sit here and go, "Oh no"? Because
I do, because you do remember that I've always said I rate Chelsea's players because you guys have technical, talented players, and any manager who cannot do well with these players or starts to overthink it and overdo it, and then you start losing games. Just get, man, I don't know. If he goes down the route that he went, I mean, Millwall, I can list a bunch of teams that he shouldn't have lost to with that Leicester team in the championship.
Yeah, like, Nafis says, Samanu, Salam, brother, can I ask for some favor? We're unbeaten, and it's going to remain that way on Sunday. Don't you worry. We're going to be doing some favors. So, Chelsea, you better fucking win as well. DJ says, why is Josh talking? We beat them 3-0 and hid coward.
Lol.
Not being allegations, Josh.
You weren't there.
Well, it's all about Maresca. Well, it is his in-game management can cost you.
It did cost us. That's the thing, it did.
It did. Yeah.
Maresca won with the league, so why does it matter? We won the league, so why does it matter?
Yeah, but then you have to put context around it. Maresca won the league with a Leicester team that was a Premiership team, literally. Those are the quality of players that he had.
Yeah, let me ask you a question on that. If Chelsea was to keep, if Maresca was to keep doing this, but we finished top 3, would you still have the same energy?
No. See, if you, like I said, I think Chelsea is going to, I personally think that Maresca is going to get it right. So don't get me wrong, but I understand where Josh is coming from because he watched Maresca in the championship and he says, okay, I've seen this guy bottle a 20-point lead, even though he got the team promoted. But remember, he had Premiership players, so it was, and then you're bottling the 20
at centre back. Like that's awful.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
so my centre backs.
Well, I get. See, Vidi.
It's like you say context is.
I know that's
key there because you almost spotted that, but then it's also context.
I'm starving, by the way.
That's why I'm giving you the same context right now. And I'm saying that with your injuries and Disasi and all of this, if he starts to make those type of mistakes as well, is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, with injuries and everything, with Disasi, like you saying you don't want Disasi, he should play Achimpong or he should do this, and he's not doing those things, and he starts to, that's context too. Like, so my thing is he just should. I don't think he'll get it wrong personally. Me personally, so
I'm sorry, nobody should lose against Ipswich. And then Blaze says, Pep and Super Mick have tinkered and struggled before, but Maresca is a fraud for being perfect in his first season. Meanwhile, Unai getting away with it, Josh. You're on mute.
Hello? Yeah, Unai's got a tough patch. First time I've looked at him and thought, come on then, sort this out, please. So let's see what he did in January. But Maresca's not been perfect. Let's just be clear on that as well.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap up there. I'm knackered. Big up to everyone. You can go subscribe to everyone as per usual. Let me get rid of the flipping overlay. You can just look at this, man. Look, everyone's there. You can go. You can find it however you need to. YouTube bar, whatever. Yada yada yada. And then move from there. We'll be back tomorrow. Hooks is gonna be live in the morning with George. So make sure you catch that. And then I'm going to be live with everybody else at like 12. We can talk about the fixture on the weekend again in a bit.